Hello, everyone. Look alive.
Woo!
We
Nice
are.
braids, Andy.
Thank you. I spent the afternoon cleaning out a room that was pretty. It was wow, and I had to take a shower, so I braided my hair. I
Oh,
bleached it for my wedding, so it's I don't know,
ooh,
kind of unruly.
nice.
Now, how are your braids doing?
Oh, I just coincidentally unbraided them today.
Wow.
Look at how long this business is. It's so
Oh
crazy.
my goodness.
Do you shampoo it?
Well, I don't have shampoo. I use the same soap body stuff that I use all over.
Oh, okay. Yeah. How are you, Alexander?
I'm okay.
Nice. Well, how'd your show go today, Jenna and Kimber?
Great. Yeah. We had a lot of audience participation. And I don't know if it's like an intentional synchronicity or not, but JL on the Facebook page shared like a poem that he wrote about Neptune and love. And I was like, ah.
Yeah, he sent that to me privately after your episode. He's like, since y'all are talking about Neptune today, I wrote this. And so I was like, we'll share it to the wall. But like, y'all have that's called UGC, user generated content. Is that a
Yeah.
thing when people watch you and then make
Oh,
content on it?
cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, people are fanning. That's so fun.
I love it.
I love Jael. Jael's been around for a long time and is very creative and a very fun addition to the crew. He spends most of his time like on the Facebook page, but yeah, we'll show
Does
up
he
on.
come to this ever?
He doesn't come to production meetings, although it would be cool if he wanted to. His living situation's kind of changes a lot. He like I don't know if there's a stability enough to do it, but and I can say that because he posts about it, so people know that So
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Does anyone have anything to report from the week? Like we can review stuff.
I'm even trying to think of what happened this week. There's a lot coming up this week for sure.
Well, we did the room tour and we did the bookshelf.
Wait, those were this week?
Yeah.
The longest ever.
Wow. That's insane. Yeah. So
I
those
like
were
the book
great.
tour. I
The
think that's
bookshelf.
a great moment to have the book tour.
Yeah. I really like the creativity of everyone's different styles. Jenna, your videos are really good.
Thanks. I just really didn't want people to see my messy house.
Well, sometimes there's a creative, what we call those creative constraints, like things that constrain you make you end up being more creative.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Totally happened.
I like the Alice in Wonderland style of shrinking you to get in the door.
Thanks. My son, he's under 18, but I allowed it. He's the one that like videoed me walking in place in my hallway. He kept being like, "Mom, this is so weird. Mom, you're so weird." I was like, "Damn."
it is part of the reason to be an entertainer is to literally entertain your spawn.
Yeah.
And yourself.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Like if no one else is entertaining you, just entertain yourself.
Yep.
No, this is probably a good segue. Well, does anyone have any else other comments on the tours and are they working for people? Is it too much? Is it good? Does it feel?
Yeah, I also wanted to say I was so glad, Kimber, that you did a tour of your place too. That was awesome.
Thank you. I'm proud of myself.
I love
Yeah.
your little Lego station and your puzzle station.
Well, when you talked about like your daughter having a Cancer Mars and puzzling, then I realized all my friends I send my old puzzles to have Cancer Marses. And I was like, maybe this is like a thing. Like, but no, yeah, it was nice to post something about my life personally. I will continue on that track.
I will look for
Yeah, I
that.
think
I didn't see it.
it's the pinch in place of the Mars and Can. It's like it's the pincher. It likes to
That
pinch.
makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, Alexander. What?
No, I didn't see Kimber's. I'll check it out. I like the book thing. I think it's a great idea. You know, it's what you do when you come into somebody's house for the first time. You look at their books.
Yeah.
To see who they are.
Mm-hmm.
Some people look in other people's medicine cabinets. Maybe we should do a medicine cabinet tour.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Well, that's only if you're holding.
Well, that's actually a good thing to notice because we're gonna have to book, or we're gonna have to book ourselves for that on quarter 2 of what are the YouTube things we're gonna do. So if you think of things, we should make a list because I do think that medicine we can be as quirky as we want to be. We got a lot of those out of this YouTube planner book, but we're quirkier than that, so we could do the quirkiest weird things ever.
Yeah. I liked that Jenna invited us to show our sock drawers too. That was fun.
Yes, I like that too.
Impromptu. I like the medicine drawer idea because like I could just show my essential oil stash and be like, this is my medicine.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, there's a lot of creative freedom in each prompt, right? Like, you probably know this as a middle school teacher. It's like you give the kids a prompt and they all come up with some different weird thing to do with it, you know? It doesn't have to be linear, it can be very avant garde or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, well, so I had a thought today. So whenever we arrive at a new plateau, which I feel like we have with this, like we're all getting used to making our videos and it's working for us, especially for the team building aspect of things. It feels like a very team building thing. So I feel like we've kind of arrived. We've arrived at the Jenna and Kimber show. They're getting a lot of views. They're getting a lot of engagement in the chat. You guys got 28 views on YouTube today, and you have about 200 and something views on the Facebook wall, which is a lot. So your show is popular. And when I was in another production meeting this afternoon, your show came up twice in that production meeting by someone else who's not even a more press person. They were just like, "Oh, I noticed those girls talking about Neptune today," and like, sorry to call you girls if that's sorry.
Oh, fine.
But anyway, so I think we've reached a plateau, and so then I was thinking about scheduling, and this is a good segue.
Okay, wait, hold on. Can I interrupt you for just a second to note that, like, when we've done something twice, you're like, we've plateaued.
Well, I'm a producer. I'm a very forward-thinking builder. That's my Sun, Mars, Saturn. It always builds the next mousetrap. So, sorry.
Yeah. Okay, you may continue. I just had to pause to remark about
Sorry for your loss. You're welcome for your gain. I don't know.
No, keep going, Andy.
Well, okay, so I was having a thought because I was writing in my journal. My latest prompt is like, got it, what next? And so I was thinking about what next, and I was thinking about how we had talked about the Mars-Uranus conjunction and planning for that. And I was like, I have an idea. We could plan stuff for every conjunction between an inner planet and an outer planet. Like, so for example, I looked at the schedule, the ephemeras for the next 6 months. For example, in March, okay, on March 7th, Venus goes over the Saturn-Neptune conjunction in Aries. That's something that when those things happen, I run a lot of Facebook content about those things. Like I'm asking people, oh, is there anything going on in your chart with this? What do you notice with this? But we could be running video content for it. Like, for example, I went and put down all the stuff for my schedule for all of these. But, I thought for like Venus, Saturn, Neptune, this is just my idea. I could do a classical music hour. Like that seems very Saturn, Neptune is classical music. So on the Venus is like, and then Venus conjuncts Uranus in April on April 23rd. And I was like, oh, I could do a random music hour because that's Uranus, right? Mm-hmm. And then Venus conjuncts Jupiter in June. And I was like, oh, I could do like a party hour with like just party songs or something. But the point is I thought we as a crew could also plan for these. Like it's not just like, now, of course you guys have to figure out your level of engagement, right? Because we're already doing the YouTube videos and now this is more content, but we are an all year long channel and we do have to entertain every day for the whole year. So it's like for me it's like I don't know. So you have to kind of decide how much you want to do this, or we can plan stuff as a group. Now, there are several there's in April 9th, there's a Mars conjuncts the Saturn Neptune. And I feel like on these Mars transits, we could call that conflict content or Mars content, right? Where that's when we have the debates and that's when we have people come on. We actually got someone today for the debates. She's like, I told her about the Mars-Uranus thing where we're going to have the composite chaos where we're going to put together people with like crazy composites. And she's like, count me in. Like, I want to do it. So like, we're already starting to collect people. But I think with Mars conjuncting Saturn and Neptune, we could have other conflict content there or Mars content. It doesn't have to be. We could call it chaos. I don't know what it's not necessarily we can call it conflict content, but like we allow or produce conflict on Mars transits because that's what happens naturally. It's like we're like dramatizing what happens naturally. So anyway, I'll stop. Any comments with what I've just said so far?
Well, I think that like we came up for the first quarters, things, we're gonna have to come up with Q2 and Q3 and Q4. So I think that we should include those in the things, just like where we for Q1 went through the book of YouTube stuff as our idea generator. I think you're right. We can put that aside now and we get the point, and I think we do it like one quarter at a time. Because I personally, I don't think I can commit to more things in February, March than we marked down already. Maybe, I guess I would look at it, but for sure, let's start planning the rest of the quarters ahead of time. Absolutely.
I feel like this first quarter we were doing a lot with the moon as the trigger, and it sounds like maybe we want to try like Mars as the trigger. I get that it's slower, so we don't have as much, but prioritize Mars and Venus or something, and then the moon to fill in when there's less.
Well, I want to do every inner planet transit to an outer planet, like Venus, because Venus will go over planets, the sun, and Mars and Mercury. Like, I guess I have to fill content. You guys don't have to do this with me. I could just do it, but it's like I have to fill content for people all year. So,
are you considering the luminaries as part of that or no?
Well, like the sun, like, okay, in March, there's 2 dates. March 6th, Venus conjunct Saturn, Neptune. Then March 22nd, the sun conjunct Saturn, Neptune.
Mm-hmm.
And then in April 9th, Mars conjunct Saturn, Neptune. April 15th, Mercury conjunct Saturn. April 23rd, Venus conjunct Uranus. So there's like 2 or 3 of these a month. It's not like crazy.
Mm-hmm. I like the idea of prioritizing those and like say one of the weeks where there's one of them, okay, add one more thing that has to do with the moon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to be, I mean, I want it to be connected to the inner planet, not the moon, though.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it seems like when we did it with the moon, we ended up with like maybe 2 a week. But if we do it with the inner planets and outer planets, then we'll also wind up with like 2 a week or something like that. Is that
well, no, it's just like on March 6th, the Venus is conjunct Saturn, Neptune that day. So on the Facebook channel, I'd be asking people like, what do you got going? Venus is conjunct Saturn, Neptune. Like, what do we got going in our lives? That's the Facebook content. But then also we could do video content. Like, I'm going to do classical music. If you guys want to participate, you guys could do, or we could produce a group event if we want. We could come together as a group and do like the Venus, Saturn, Neptune episode. And you guys might want to take a week to think about this because I know it's a whole new idea, but does the idea make sense, I guess?
Well, I guess I'm not explaining myself well. Like, yes, I like the idea. I think it's a great idea. And also, there is a limit to how many things I can do. So if we substitute this idea in and then take away some other ideas so that we're still doing like a couple things a week, But yes, conceptually, I think it's awesome. Absolutely.
I love the idea. And I think I wasn't a part of the first quarter planning, and that's totally fine. But like I have a work retreat I have to do this week. And so I'm excited I think if we do a quarter in advance of knowing what's coming, then I feel like sometimes I'm going to have to do videos like in advance to be able to stay on the schedule, just like with my work schedule. But it's like, that's been kind of hard to like integrate at the time. So I would like to think about quarter 2 before, like think about March before March is here would be helpful because my work schedule can get weird and busy. And so I can't always do it the day of. And I do have a question though, like, okay, I saw this on TikTok the other day and I thought it was so funny, but Mars, like, does it need to be artsy content necessarily? Or just like, I was thinking, oh, there was like this sword yoga, like, not that I know if I could go, but it was like they were playing Mulan in the background. It looked kind of fun. And I was like, that feels kind of Aries, Saturn, Neptune, Mars. Like there's chi moving, but I'm being disciplined. And like that'd be kind of fun. Or maybe I go to a rage room. I don't know.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, and Jesse, I would rather just add these on and maybe not take away the other stuff we planned. But if you can't do it, then you just don't do that one. It's like because people can. Some people have less going on than other. You know, it's like for me, I can do this, but I only work 30 hours a week at my day job. You know what I mean? Saying like, so, but Kimber, I love what you're thinking there. Like Mars, Saturn, Neptune, like Rage Room, or like martial arts, like we don't we could do stuff our own, and but the idea for the viewers and the crowd would be that we're following in these
Right.
functions between inner and outer planets, and so we're giving them the kind of idea of what the energy's like.
Right.
And I hope I didn't sound rude when I was clarifying my thought. I was just clarifying.
Wait,
No,
Okay.
oh,
not at all.
Speaking for Jenna. But no, I would say that makes sense to me. I guess I have nothing else to say to that.
Would it work for people if I made a schedule of these dates and then just sent them out to the in the email, and then if you guys want to put it on your calendar to do a video or something, you can, and if not, you don't have to.
Yeah.
And be open ended, like just saying like Mars is conjuncting Saturn and Neptune. Go crazy with that.
Yeah, and if one of you guys has an idea, like, oh, I want to have a debate with so and so about on that transit about this topic, we could schedule that and have a team of us there. I mean, like if you have an idea for one of the transits, like please bring that to the table because we can go as big or as small as we want, with these things.
Yeah, that has worked in other areas, I think, but make sure you have a deadline for submissions.
What about stations? Do you track those at all, Andy? Like Mercury stationing?
That's a really good idea. Like I did notice that I think it was I wrote this down. June 24th through the 30th, Mercury stations on Jupiter. So that's like a whole week, and I was like thinking I don't know what to do with that station because what would we do for a whole week? But that's a really good idea too, if like we could celebrate the stations or do like something station state we could call it the station series. Like we do something every day while the Mercury is stationed. Alexander stations when a planet stops at a certain degree.
Oh, sorry.
It could be the Mercury Jupiter staycation.
Oh, interesting.
That's so good.
Well, like Mercury Jupiter could be us talking, and it's in Cancer, so we could be doing monologues about food or something.
I was trying to think of a joke connected to Stations of the Cross, but I can't think of one.
Well, I was thinking staycation because it's in Cancer. It's at home, and it's like a staycation is when you like stay at home, and Jupiter is going to be blowing up things and just expand. I mean, just making things.
No, I like that.
Yeah, but see how like each of them has their own flavor. So I thought it would be fun for us to kind of like be creative about what would we produce for that flavor of that conjunction.
Are these like potentially not just content videos, but like events, or where like how we did the open mic? But it's, I mean, if for Venus, Jupiter, and Cancer, we did, I don't know, treat yourself or something. But it's like to kind of get people to like engage or join somehow.
Totally. I mean, yeah, we could do event. Like I like the idea. Like if it's Venus, Jupiter conjunction, Cancer, we could have like eat with us, or like we could just all be like eating dinner, or like it's like very meta where we're like living out the transit. But
I like that. Okay,
we could all do face masks and talk.
Like truly spa day.
Yeah, spa day, exactly.
I'm gonna have to go back to Sephora. Like my producer wants me to get a face mask now.
It's funny to
do an online spa day.
Jenna, when you talk about that, it makes me think about how I am to Billy, because I'm always like, oh, thanks for being my producer, but I'm also like his friend, like I was just at his house cleaning out a room with him, you know what I mean? And he's like, I owe you dinner, whatever, but
yeah.
Yeah, but like, what about, let's just do an exercise on another one. What about a Venus conjunct Uranus I think it's in Taurus.
Yeah.
What would we think of that for an event? Let's see.
We could do something like edgy that's beautiful, like have a crazy hair day or like
Oh, dude,
shave
crazy.
our heads, something like that. Maybe not.
Crazy Hair Day is so like I love it because it's like something they do at school, you know.
Yes, yeah. And it would be something where it's like any other person could easily show up and be like, I put my hair in a ponytail on top of my head. Ha ha ha, bye.
Dude, I love Crazy Hair Day for Venus Uranus because right after that Uranus goes into Gemini, it could be like or it could be like crazy background, you know, like something like that. I like Crazy Hair Day. Do you guys? How about this? I'll send you the list of these, and then you guys can like think for a week, and then maybe next week we can check in about some of them.
Okay.
And if it's too much for anyone, you're not obliged to participate in anything. Like obviously, it's all voluntary. So
Except Crazy Hair Day.
I'm not doing Crazy Hair Day.
Alexander.
I could do Crazy Hair Day.
dude, I'm so doing Crazy Hair Day.
My dye is coming out. I could redo it.
Alexander dyes his hair live.
That's right.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I don't do it. I have it done. So. But we could have Crazy Beard Day, Jay-Z.
Yes, we could. We could have Crazy Beard Day in which I cut it off. That would be crazy.
Stop.
Are you really
outrageous?
You really
Would
gonna
you do that?
I'm not planning to, but again, it would be a Uranus thing, so who knows what would happen.
Well,
Haven't you
give
been
me.
growing it for like 4 centuries?
What's that?
Haven't you been growing it for 4 centuries?
Oh, like more than 10 years. But Samson always used to tell me to shave it, shave it, shave it. He hated it. You know, at the beginning, he didn't, or not he hated it, but he would always try to get me to say I'd shave it. And then it flipped.
Yeah.
So that I now threaten to shave it. He's like, no, don't.
dude?
But
I'm
anyway.
gonna put wire in my braids and like Pippi Longstocking.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like this.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
I used to have a ponytail down in my ass, and my boys hated the fact that I might cut it off. But once I did it, they were cool with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I'll send a list of these, and then if you guys have ideas, we totally can jam on those. Any more comments or questions? I don't think it's overwhelming when you really look at it. I think it would just add like another layer of the qualitative clock going on, and I think the crowd would love it because we would get that we would rally them on the transits, basically. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, and I just have to also pause to say that Saturn is literally on my Saturn right now, like for the final time of this Saturn return. So maybe like in a couple weeks I'll be fine and not feel so constrained and so like needing to put boundaries to what I'll agree to.
Well, I'm glad that you said no because it's like I can't ask if you guys can't say no. You know what I mean? And plus, it's actually just an offering. It's like we're kind of like a bar or something where people show up and are regulars, and it's like, do you feel like showing up on this one or not? Like, I mean, you can, you know, it's always there's a lot going on, but it's that's a good thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that there's more opportunities to like share ourselves and our character, you know. So it's like and more opportunities to be creative and kind of create that brand.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Does anyone have anything on their mind for the meeting? Okay. All right. Well, then I thought we could talk about 3 topics. I want to talk about method acting because Jenna just taught me what that was, but I want to know more about like what is method acting.
I could tell you the history of it. It came from Russia, from a guy named Stanislavski who tried to get his actors. He was an actor and director. He tried to get his actors to find an emotion that they have in their catalog of emotions from their own personal experience to put into the acting that they were doing for their character so that their response would seem real. and then it came to the U.S. appropriated it, and it was named Method that way, and it was taught in New York by Lee Strasberg and Stella Adler, who often goes unmentioned. But she taught people to do that same thing where they take an emotion that they have, like, and I'm going to use a simple explanation, but if your character's uncle is supposed to die and you had a favorite dog that died, you use the same emotions that you felt for the dog to put into that character to relate to the uncle dying on stage. So um, the byproduct of that is that you have to wear that character. You have to really get into the skin of that character, and it's still being taught today. And there, the examples from the 50s and 60s were Marlon Brando and Marilyn Monroe, David Jansen, Paul Newman. They all came out of the Stella Adler School of Method Acting, where they just are in the character. And you can't say, "Can I borrow a match?" to Paul Newman, because he isn't going to answer, his character is going to answer. And if you want to see something, I think, today, it's Joaquin Phoenix in Beau is Afraid. He is that person. Beau is Afraid or Joker. He thought about how that person opened the door, how that person picks up a cup, sits in a chair, talks to anybody. He wears that person. And I'm not an actor, so I don't know much about it, but to me, that's what method is.
Anyone else know anything about it? Jenna, do you know anything about it?
I always think of Drew Barrymore. I saw a video of her once that she was like getting into character, and it was like overwhelmingly emotional. Like she was like convulsing, crying, trying to get ready for a sad scene. And I was like, whoa. And it was talking about like she really puts her all into every character. And like it's just like Alexander said, like you're going on an emotional journey in order to connect with your character.
Well, what I found interesting about this is I think it's something a little different that I'm thinking of. But okay, so you know how we play these characters on Facebook and on YouTube,
Mhm.
but they're kind of real, but they're kind of not. They're kind of like dramatized versions of ourselves. And I think sometimes people have asked me, well, where does your character end and where does your person begin? And I think that's kind of the larger conversation: is are we are we our characters in real life, or are we acting on YouTube and they're not really us, or Facebook, or like are we method acting ourselves? You know what I mean? It's like it's kind of meta, but it's like, are we method acting ourselves?
I think in postmodernism, those lines are intentionally blurry. So you can go back and forth, and people aren't supposed to know. There's a great movie called My Dinner with Andre, with Wallace Shawn and Andre Gregory, and they look like two people talking at a restaurant, but the whole thing is scripted. And Wallace Shawn plays a guy named Wally, and Andre Gregory plays a guy named Andre, but the script isn't necessarily about them, although it has elements of their lives in it. So the lines are fucked up blurry, and I don't know, I kind of like it. Do they have to feel linear to you guys who are in character?
I think
Do
it
you need to
depends on
know
the
when it
person
stops and
too.
starts?
Go ahead, Kimber.
No, I said I think it depends on the person. Like for me, I want to, like, even if I am a character, I'm going to be me. It's all me. But I think that's also what, like, but it's still performing, but it's me. Like even if I'm going to be a clown, it's going to be me. But I think it's just like like I feel like I've been playing parts my whole life. So it's like I just want to be like Kimber is a character because that's not something I've been.
Mm-hmm.
But that's also very Aquarian, and so I feel like that's on brand for me to just be myself.
JZ, how do you relate to this?
Well, I feel like I've changed so many times in my life, and I was really when Jenna, you said in that last meeting of how like you had moved from group to group, or like done different things and then like become a different person, and then become like stepping stones to who you are now. I feel the same too. I mean, when I transitioned, it's the same thing. It's like I decided to become this new character with a new name that acted in a different way, that did different things. So I feel like I've always kind of connected with that, which is why I've always like, also when we were reading Andy, the Lazy Man's Guide to Enlightenment, that whole part about like who are we anyway in non-duality? We are like the witness of the self. We're the self that's the witness of the me that is doing things. And I think that that is just like another extension of this. So if I feel like I am not the Z0 character, but created this character and can act like him, I also created the Jay-Z character and just act like that all day. I create the Jay-Z character who, you know, works for a company named Elsevier and goes to work every day and acts as that character in those situations. So to me, the line is, like Alexander said, very blurry.
I think people do it without even realizing it. Like, normally it's meant as a diss or like a resentment, but when people are like, oh, you're so fake on social media, you only put on happy stuff, or like you're always talking about how great your life is, but I know it's not. And it's like, well, they're only highlighting that part of their life. Like, it is kind of a character in a way. Like, I'm not going to put on like, oh, I have stomachache, like I had diarrhea today. Like, no one needs to know that. Like, live, laugh, love. You know what I mean? So.
But Jenna, I'm curious with your character, like, because your character's kind of kooky and you talk to angels and stuff. How much is that really you, and how much is that an act?
It's me, unfortunately. And even Mary is me. And that's the part where it gets a little tricky, because I start to feel like I'm slipping, if that makes sense. If I am in Mary's character too long, like I start staring at kind of the darkness a little bit too much because of what Mary's backstory is. Like, that is a big part of my story and my journey. And as much as I'm not in as dark of a phase right now as some of the stuff that Mary represents, when I'm in character, I start thinking about that time, and maybe it's my mutable grand cross, but I kind of start like kind of slipping back into it. And so that's why I like won't stay in character too long or be in character like days in a row. Like, I'm very conscious of that. Like, even when we did the Gloucester Clowns, I was like, ooh, is there going to be enough time in between this and before, you know, Andy comes to town? And there was. So I'm like, I'm still figuring out what the sweet spot is. Like, I'm ready to go again whenever it's time at this point. But I know that I needed like a week off to like reground in every version of who I am now, if that makes sense.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, so, you know, I've been at this for 15 years, and it's like, you know, okay, there's this concept I wanted to get out to the crew of like, okay, it's really fun to like be yourself dramatized in real life when people meet you. So like, for example, like when we're at UAC, right? And if they come up to you and like they're talking to you, you can be like, oh, since I was talking to Poseidon, and like you can do the things your character does online that are kind of kooky in real life, because it's like it is your character being like in 3D, like, right, like, so like I'm always making beads online, but when I go up to Norwalk, I make beads, and I like have beads at my table, and like, you know, there's like chart beads everywhere, and like I make sure to like render my online character to my 3D character of like, you know, I don't know if that makes sense of like, I don't necessarily dress as a clown, although when I was at the Kepler Symposium, I did wear my clown outfit to the banquet of like, I didn't wear my clown makeup, but I had black and white striped tights and a tutu on. Like, I did the clown at the banquet kind of look. But, you know, so I think it's almost like we're doing reverse method acting where we kind of create our characters online and we see what the crowd likes and doesn't like, and you kind of get this feedback loop of like, oh, they love when I talk to angels, or they love when I talk to these Greek gods. Okay, so more of that in the monitor, and then like then when you go to UAC, like you kind of do that when you meet people. But what do you guys think of that idea?
That's how I live my life. So it comes like I can't help but kind of always be in a social experiment. Like I really do ask my doctors if they know who the gods of surgery are. Like, and that's important to me because I think that they should. Like, if you're going to be on my wavelength and your vibe's going to vibe with me and the surgery is going to be good, then you need to know what I know and you need to appreciate that too, if that makes sense. So, like, if we're at UAC and someone's like Chiron to me, it's gonna seem like I'm being performative, but it just like I just automatically switch it on and I'll be in that like it's not something I think about. Like I'm not like, oh, am I gonna lean into this or not? I just do. So I don't know if that's helpful.
Well, it makes me think of, okay, when you get to a certain level in astrology, like you are the content creator in the room. Like, so for example, when we're at UAC, and there's all the speakers, right? Like they're the content creators at the conference, and then there's like the content consumers at the conference, like they're going to the talks and everything like that. And it's like Stephen Forrest has like an act or a shtick, which we'll talk about soon. But like, or like all the content creators have refined their characters and are living out their characters in 3D around the conference. And I think the difference between being a content consumer there is being like, oh, I'm going to watch what everyone does and see what I should do, as opposed to being like, here we are, Moira Press. What's up? Like, we're here as our characters. Like, see how it's a little bit of a dance there of like, are you a CC or a C? Well, I can't say CC or CC. Are you a content creator or a content consumer?
I'm definitely going to be both at the UAC because I'm going to be in lectures and I'm going to do my thing where I sit up at front and I write down every single word they say because that's just my personality. But even within that, I'm a little extreme because people are always like, you're that person who just like hunches over your computer like this and just stares and like has reactions to what they're saying, but I never stop typing. So it's like, but again, that's just who I am. So for me, I'm going to be switching back and forth. But
like, and then are you playing the role of a student? I mean, or is that really are you really a student? You know what I mean? So it gets kind of trippy.
I'm like playing the well, I want to be able to, it's more about like locking that moment in time and all its infinite resource, like locking it in. Because like even now when I'm like, oh, what was that random thing that Steve said at the conference when he was talking about that lady? And then I'll just like search whatever words in my documents that I remember and I can pull up and read exactly what he said. And so it's just, this is part of my information hoarding, but it's not so much that I'm like being a student as I am.
Or you could get a dictaphone or something and scribe it.
Yeah.
So then
I don't know, but my like character, how I'm comfortable doing it is this very like, it's almost like I'm playing a music or something, like playing like the piano, but it's my,
yeah,
I don't know.
Well, maybe our characters are based on what we want to do. Like, you want to go to the lectures, so you're going to create your character as somebody goes to lectures, right? Like, Jay-Z doesn't want to go to the lectures, so he's going to create a character around that. Like, what's your character going to be at UAC?
This is, oh wait, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just thinking about Jenna. I feel like Jenna, I don't know if it's because we have so many opposites, but I feel like sometimes, and because of our show, she kind of informs my character, but it's like she loves taking notes, and I'm like, I'm not taking notes. I'm here to just listen. And then I'm like, you're such a teacher's pet, and like we do not need, like, just chill. But I was thinking that we like could take photos, like if we keep the same poses on our thumbnail, we could try to like imitate that same facial expression when we have to practice what it looks like next to each other, but in front of our different things. But I just feel like we're very opposite in how like don't want to do that. I just want to be.
Well, and one of the roles you're playing there is the duo of existential side quests. So you're going to be playing yourselves at UAC, but you're also going to be playing your duo.
Yeah, like we can. I feel like we're starting to get there where we riff, or like we can just be different. But yeah, I think that could work.
I love the idea of doing our poses. Like, even if we just like started
To the title of this session.
I just think it'd be so funny if we're like, oh, we're here. Oh, we're going to our first lecture. Time for the cruise.
Yeah.
Like, and it's always that face and us together for those photos. Like, maybe we intentionally were like, if Jenna and Kimber are in a photo together, they're making that face and they're next to each other. Like, just
That's really good branding.
Yeah. We could also make a side quest chain or something, like how many new rabbit holes do we want to go down, like from these new things that we're learning.
We should put a side quest sign on a room that's like not being used and be like, are we going to the lecture or are we going in here?
We made our own side quests. Like,
come on, guys, this is a new emerging lecture that's going on.
Get banned. Like,
yeah, we will. Never mind.
Yeah, I act out like all the time, like when I'm like around the metalhead dudes because of like Billy's friends, and they say something, I'll be like, "Well, the astrologer in me would say," I'm always kind of acting like, but it's just to be kind of, it's almost like being cheeky, but not really. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I love it because you're like the conservative Southern belle in me, and it's like, what? Like that's in you?
The church lady in me is horrified.
Yeah.
But the rocker in me gets it. That's when the students are making like extremely explicit comments. That happened in Tuesday group. You guys were not there for that. That Tuesday group with under Mars Pluto was crazy.
I was fine.
It was epic.
Okay. Well, okay, so this is also something to think about, is like, how are you going to render yourself to the 3D, like the Panopticon where everyone's looking at you from all sides. And so that's just, I don't know if that's method acting, but it's kind of like taking your online persona into the real life, and, you know, something to think about.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, my character like what I would do and what I intend to do comes from my experience also, because like, I mean, my experience is being in a band on tour, going to a town, then like you don't do anything other than be at the venue, and you do sound check and you make sure everything's going to go well that night, and like you're kind of there hanging out, making sure that everything's going to go well. And like, that is actually what I like to do and is kind of fun. And then like things come up and you have to solve them. Like, I don't know, your bass needs to get soldered, or, you know, like something goes wrong in sound check, and then you have to figure out. And I mean, I guess I just intend to do that at UAC, is just like see what's happening in the hotel, go to, you know, hang out with people, meet people, just like, yeah, that for me is kind of like recreating the fun parts of being on tour.
So that character has all this stuff that comes with him, right? Like, that character may like jelly donuts, but if you like granola, you don't like granola when you're in that character. Is that right?
I don't understand the question. Like, I mean, I guess I understand what you're saying. Like, that if it were a character that was different than myself, but I don't think the character is that different than myself.
So you're
gonna have to render yourself, like with your diet, you're gonna have to render yourself to that person in the hotel environment, you know?
Right. Well, in which I'll like go out and prepare to have the things that I need.
But aren't we like already automatically different people depending where we are because of like astrocartography, as well as the transits we're experiencing that we've never experienced the map of the sky exactly before? You know what I mean?
That's true. I mean, I was thinking it's like being an actor and kind of constantly method acting is like, I'm embodying my character, and then I take my character into different contexts, different cities, different, so like how we're acting in this meeting is different than when we're at the NCGR group, right? Like I'm acting like the leader of that group, or like here I'm acting very like, I don't know, we're at our home base and we're chilling. Like, yeah, I think that's what's fun. Like when we go to Clown Virgins, the conference, if anyone wants to go to that, it's like we'll be acting like clowns at a conference, and I actually read a book about this. It was talking about how it's natural to emphasize certain parts of your personality in certain contexts and de-emphasize other parts. So when we go to Clown Virgins, we will emphasize the clown parts of our personality and de-emphasize the astrologer parts because they're not astrologers. Right. So it's like if we're at the astrology conference, we're going to emphasize the astrologer parts and maybe not clown so much, and that's actually natural.
One thing that I like is that, like, in a weird way, like our clothing and our like appearance. Well, at least I can say mine. Like, I'll probably be wearing this hat because I've just felt like wearing this hat every single day for the last 6 months. So I show up as in a hoodie, and like maybe I'd bring my robe if I thought I needed to be comfortable. Like, is just like showing up the same person in the same outfit in like all these different situations, like in a video explaining my books, or just sitting here, or at work, or whatever. I just like always just have the same thing that carries through.
See, and I'm very different. Like I have a palette, like, and I have signature definers, which are things in fashion that define you. They're like a signature. So black and white stripes are one of mine. But like at the if there's like a ball or banquet at the conference, I will absolutely dress up and I will wear like a black and white stripe element, but I'll be in like really nice outfit. So like I render myself to a bunch of different things. Like when I'm lecturing at Norwalk, I'll have a certain kind of look than when I'm, at my table. And so I do a lot of outfit changes at every conference, but they're all in my brand,
Mm-hmm.
which are both valid ways to be.
Yeah.
Right? Like they're just different choices.
Yeah.
This is funny because Kimber and I have been reflecting over our evolving clothing style on existential side quests. Like we used to be like, oh, like what are you wearing and stuff like that. And today I'm like, well, I wore this sweatshirt for the past 36 hours, so I'm wearing this sweatshirt to our podcast today. Not to be gross.
Let's actually segue into what is a shtick, Alexander. What is a shtick?
I don't get no respect. That's a shtick. Person comes out on the stage and they do a pratfall. That's their shtick. Think of a comic, it's hard. Steve Martin has no form and no content. That's his shtick.
So it's like a repeated element that defines a character.
Yeah.
Like a signature.
Some signature thing, like Groucho Marx's cigar. I'm going back.
Do you know Bert Kreischer?
No.
He's always topless. Like he has a big beer gut. Does that count?
Yeah, that's his shtick. Emily Catalano, she's a comic. She always talks about her growing up Catholic. That's her shtick, and all of her jokes come from that. And some family, but Rodney Dangerfield is what I thought of because the I don't get no respect. It's his thing. It's his bridge between things. It's his segue. It warms people up for the next joke, which is going to come from I don't get no respect.
It also de-escalates too, because sometimes he's saying stuff that's like about to be like offensive, and then he just breaks into that.
Yeah.
So it says a gimmick comic routine style of performance associated with a particular person.
Right. I'm trying to think of somebody.
Or a person's special talent, interest, or area of activity.
Yeah, that I don't know about the activity, but it's something that somebody and them. Like I said I don't get no respect, and here's me playing with my tie that I don't have on. But that's those of you who knew Rodney Dangerfield know that right away, and
Mhm.
that's what the shtick does.
So is Jenna talking to Greek gods a shtick?
Yes, or
Is
maybe it's not, but it depends on how you use it, I guess. I haven't
is
seen.
Jay-Z doing headstands every day?
If he showed it every day as part of his act, like maybe if he showed up at the meeting doing a headstand, like I guess you have to, in order to make something a shtick, you have to repeat it.
Yes,
It's almost like an inside joke.
right.
Okay.
It has to be ongoing.
Does it have a negative connotation or a neutral connotation?
I think it could be. My opinion is it could be anything. Could be
Hmm.
positive, negative, or neutral.
Is it a branding thing?
Yes.
So what's Jim Carrey's shtick?
Alrighty then.
Or
I
is
think
it
it's
his
like
facial?
making overly expressive facial expression, like really distorting his face.
Yeah. I mean, for a long time, I think he's trying to get away from that now, but for a long time, um, that with his face.
Mm-hmm.
What about Chris Farley? Remember him? Down by the river. I'm in a house down by the river. Was that his shtick?
I don't know. I don't know him very well. I know who he is, but
So for us to make a shtick, we would have to kind of do it on purpose and repeat it over and over.
over and over again. But do you want a shtick? It came
Well,
out of vaudeville, so it goes way, way back.
okay, so
What
like, go ahead.
what's the value of a shtick? Like, why would you have one?
I think it's a meme.
Hmm.
Well, could
It's
be.
a contagious thought form.
Mm.
I mean, if a comic had a cane and they were in a big venue and anybody in the nosebleed seats saw the cane, they knew that that was who was up there. So it was a little bit of that. We don't have that now.
I feel like it makes them contagious because whenever people see a cane, they think of that person. Like
Yeah,
it's yeah, it's contagious.
or Chaplin. I mean, Chaplin's stick wasn't necessarily a shtick because um, it was part of his whole character, the little tramp.
Is that a stick or a shtick?
I knew you were going to do that. His stick was not a shtick.
What's the danger of a shtick? Is that people take you less seriously or you get pigeonholed with it?
You get typecast.
Yes, you do.
I mean, like Chiron's a shtick for Jenna, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or is it, Jenna? Do you feel offended that someone would call it a shtick?
No, and I also don't care if I get pigeonholed with Chiron. He's my lover.
Just another.
Well, and I do think one of the reasons to talk about it is we want to be intentional in what we're doing, right? Like if you want Chiron to be a shtick, that's great. Repeat it, and then we will know it's like your shtick. You're like, oh, here it comes. And how do you respond to a shtick? Like if it comes up repeatedly, we're not going to respond authentically every time. We're not going to be like, oh, let me look at my Chiron and be like, oh, eye roll onward. Like you don't. When something becomes a shtick, you don't stop the show over it. It comes and goes, right? Like, if you really want to do a Chiron exploration, that's a different thing than a shtick. But I mean, I think the reason to learn these concepts is just like when we learned that we were doing sketch content, it changed our world. Remember that? We were like, oh, we're making sketches, duh. Like I think, oh, this is a shtick. Like I don't know if my black and white stripes are a shtick, but they're definitely a signature definer thing. And then I don't know if you noticed at the Billy Grill, he was wearing a black and white scarf, a striped scarf, and then like it becomes like contagious, like, kind of thing. But like me eating donuts is kind of a shtick. Like and Stardall's eating donuts, and it's like donuts. It's like I go to Heavenly Donuts. Like I don't know if that's a shtick, but maybe that's a motif. So Jenna, do you want to talk about what a motif is?
Well, what I understand motifs to be is like it's like more of a literary thing, but it's something that you call back to, and it has a symbol within it, like an alternate meaning or an alternate way that it could be interpreted. I'm trying to think of one that we already have in our. Like if you started wearing, I'm going with pink ribbons. Sorry, Nathaniel Hawthorne. But if you started wearing pink ribbons whenever there was a Venus transit, and you, to the point that we saw you in pink ribbons and we were like, oh, she's got ribbons in her hair. Venus is doing something today. Like it's something that can mean nothing, but it also has like a symbolic actual meaning.
Kimber, what were you going to say?
I don't know.
Kimber's probably the best person to answer this question.
I mean, I know what motifs are just from like being an English teacher but it's like they're not as often, and there's like a point, you're like driving a point with those.
It says a distinctive feature or dominant idea in an artistic or literary composition. Okay, I think I know what this. Okay, like in the wedding that we're
related to thematics.
Right. It's always it's related to the theme.
It happens a lot in plays. When I used to interpret plays, there'd be like one concept that goes through the whole play. But like we're writing a wedding and we were giving away keychains with keys, and I'm gonna have keys in my hair, and there's keys. Like keys are a motif in the wedding, then, right? Because they show up.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when they show up should make sense to what you're trying to get like across. Like think about the green light in The Great Gatsby, or like the heartbeat in whichever, the Telltale Heart. Like it's at certain points to drive a certain feeling.
Right.
So it's like if the keys are not always present and then they're pulled out of the same feeling connected to a theme, or they're like we like stop and pause and like zoom in on the keys in some way, then that would be a motif.
Yeah, my understanding is also that it has more intention. Like it's not that the same thing just happens to repeat. Like in music theory. Like in music theory, you'll get like, say you have a horn line that comes in the first section. And then later on, the violins do the same thing. And then later on, it's a repeated element that's intentional.
Right. And I can say in Mahler, he has horn stuff that represents.
Stop. I literally was like, Mahler's Titan does this.
Yes. Is that what you were going to say?
Yes. Alexander, get out of my brain.
Wow. Yeah, the Titan does that because he has that Alpine thing with the trumpets. And so, yeah. And then I love the Gatsby illustration because that green light is a motif on her dock. But it also is not just the green light that represents her to him, but it represents wealth, power, control. All those things are in that symbol of the green light on her dock. Right?
Yes. What would be interesting, Andy, if you had keys, it's almost like if there was the other motif that was like represented a key that was not the keys that are in your hair.
Interesting.
In some way.
So I love this conversation. I think all of these are really great conversations that maybe we can like bring back up like in a week or two after we think about them. But I mean, I think we should think about having shticks and motifs like just running through everything, because I think Jenna's really the queen of this. With her Chiron, and also she's got a few shticks going on. The Greek gods is one. I kind of do it with the donuts and the black and white stripes, but it's like repeated elements that the crowd gets attached to, and that we do that on purpose. You know what I mean? So, all right, you guys. Well, great meeting today. If anyone ever has anything they want to bring up at the meeting, please let me know. This is a collective, and I appreciate y'all very, very much.
I had fun. Just occurred to me that you guys could have motifs across your own videos that are link you all together in some way.
Oh, we could be like room tour motif donuts, or like motif birds, or something like that.
Something like that. or
Yeah.
Mahler number 1.
I'd love if everyone had a fairy door personally in their room. I think it's
That was
super
so cool.
like I really want one.
Mhm.
All right, fairy door motif coming up in
I'll
Q2.
work on it.
All right, guys, thank you.
Bye.